Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
the man, the king, the god, this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies versus the World is a podcast. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution. Within the fans unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World. 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Boulevard. Hey, we're not frozen. Here we go, y'all. Buckle your fucking seatbelts. Happy Halloween. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 420 Halloween season premiere finale, WrestleMania edition of Blvd Bullies versus the World. I am your host, PK, with the Blvd, and I am joined by my exalted, esteemed co-hosts, the lads, the crew, the fam. First and foremost, I can't tell what any of your costumes are. I can't even tell what my own costume is. I'm just happy I'm not frozen. So first and foremost, we have Bad Take Bry, the one punch right to your face merch guy. Bad Take, what are you today?
I am alternate dimension 79-year-old Glenn Zandigberg.
Zandigberg.
Zandigberg, I'm a successful wrestling promoter, fresh off the heels of my win at the Tournament of Violence, the TOV, the Mazel Tov, and I booked myself to win.
Congratulations. Hey, everybody give it up for alternate universe Zandigberg. I see Sean getting into character, so I'm actually going to go to Larry here. I'm going to switch it up. And I am also joined by winner of the Showcase Showdown, a former boat owner, the man who flew from one coast to the next and back again, my wrestling father, Larry the Legend. Are you Pinky Sanchez?
It's good to be here, lads. It's good to be here on Halloween night. And on this Halloween night, I evoke the spirit of El Gran Sanchez, Carlos El Presidente Alberto, the sexual spider monkey, the one who brought Team Pazuzu together back in 2015, Pinky Sanchez.
Hey, rest in peace, Pinky Sanchez. Great costume honoring the dead, Larry. And last but not least.
Yeah. Let's get to the point.
We have
You got the Heartbreak Kid here, and you wait to the last one to bring me out? I'm the true Intercontinental Champion, Pat. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm a big thing when I come around here. So you treat the Heartbreak Kid as such.
Ladies and gentlemen,
God damn it.
7-time Intercontinental Champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks.
All right. Don't butcher my song, Pat.
Hands off the merchandise. Yo, but seriously, though, you ever, think about what it was like for, our parents when we're sitting around watching wrestling, and it's like, oh, who's this guy? The male hooker?
Well, I don't know if you heard the phone call before we got on, but my mom called me Ahmed Johnson with my leather hat on my head.
I love that for you. That's great. Sean,
I instantly knew you were HBK.
Yeah, and you had the mannerisms down too. That was pretty good. You're sitting there ready to be HBK. I like that.
Oh, of course.
Years and years ago, it was probably right around Halloween. You know, I saw that Wrestling for Sale was selling 3 of those hats. And I know that I bought one of them. And I know that Joey Janela bought the other. And I kept questioning, who bought the third? And now we know. Now we know.
How we know?
Guys, we got a great show today. Not only is it Halloween, not only do we all look pretty fucking good, if I do say so myself, but we have on Deathmatch Hall of Famer, Park Slope's own, Sunset Park's own.
Sunset Park.
Sunset.
Professional alcoholic.
Yeah, I'm all fucked up in the game. Hey, happy 420, everybody. I had a little too much candy before the show. A little too much trick-or-treating.
So you're sugar rush. You're a sugar rush.
I'm on a sugar rush. Life Louie is on the show. In this cup, it's just melted down candy corn and seltzer that I'm drinking. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
That
But
sounds
Life
great.
Louie
I
on the
love
show.
candy corn. Candy corn is the devil's candy.
You don't
Is
like
it?
candy corn?
Yeah, I love
He
it.
loves it. He loves it. I
Yeah,
like candy
I
corn.
like candy corn too. It gets a lot of hate in the streets, though.
It does
does.
because people are assholes.
You know what I love to do with my candy corn is I love to boof it.
You put it in your butt.
Put it up here.
Yeah,
Damn it,
I
Brian.
boof my candy corn and then I make someone eat it.
Wait, is boof just another way for saying sticking up your butt?
Yeah,
That's
boofing
jail
is usually
terminology.
He
referred to
doesn't
with drugs.
know.
It's
He's
usually
not a
you usually do with
degenerate.
drugs. You deposit it into your butt, and it's called boofing.
You put
He's
the
not a
drugs in your butt.
degenerate.
You put the drugs
He's not a
the
degenerate.
drugs in your butt, and it's called boofing.
Yeah, usually
Or
people
it's
do before they go into
object,
jail.
like if you
Any
stick a
object, but it's
toilet
usually
paper
referred to
tube-
when you boof it. It's usually with drugs.
Yeah,
when I
you're
think
right.
of it.
Brian's right, but it's like anything. You can toilet paper tube, pencil, you're boofing.
Right, well, apparently, if you boof drugs, it hits you harder than it
Yeah,
does when
well,
you put it
you
down
Well,
your
that's
throat.
same thing with
crystal
candy
meth.
corn.
It's called a butt bump. It's called a butt bump. A
Right.
butt bump with crystal meth.
Okay, so I want to get to it. We have a lot to get to before we get Life Louie. I want to do the comments from last
You
week.
might know all about that.
I want to do the giveaways.
Before we get demonetized again, is what Pat is saying.
Hey, actually, speaking of demonetization, starting tomorrow, we are eligible for remonetization.
So what does that mean?
It's on the
That
road. On
means
the
that I'm
road.
going to click a button and apply and pray to the gods above that they don't watch anything that we've done over the last 90 days. That's what I'm hoping.
We haven't done anything poor. In poor taste.
Yeah, I'm sure that you think you haven't, Brian.
I'm Glenn Zan Digberg. God damn it.
Dan Digsberg. Yo, so since you taught me about boofing, I have something else I want to ask you about. I'm jumping a little bit ahead.
Yes.
But a fan of the program did a Photoshop. I'm going to pull it up on the screen right now. It's of Scatman Larry and me in the background in a suit, like standing on a mic. And I don't understand what this is. Like, why are they calling us the Scat Men? What is Scat Man?
There's two things that scat are. One is poop, and two is a way of singing. Scat
Brian,
singing.
are you also like an administrator for like Urban Dictionary?
That's not an urban. It's just a fact. That's a fact.
Fact. Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
two
Scatting.
meanings.
You never heard like scat? Like just give it a bit. It's like when you sing with your mouth and words. That's called scat singing. That's scatting, right? That's scatting.
Yeah,
But
no, I
also
understand.
pooping on your partner and playing with fecal matter is
So this is-
also scatting.
So the lady, what's her name? Amber Heard scat on Johnny Depp is what you're saying for people who out there.
Well,
who
no.
understand what
Yes.
you're saying?
What
Yes,
Amber Heard
yes,
didn't Amber Heard?
yes.
She just pooped. Well,
Yes.
she defecated on his bed. That's not scatting.
Yeah, that's
is
not scat. Scat is specifically during the act of coitus.
it? Right.
It's
People
not
like
like
scat.
just shitting.
So it's
in, like,
consensual.
positive thing.
It's consensual
consensual.
sex poop.
Consensual
Ah.
poop. It's a consensual pooping.
It's a
And what
consensual-
Amber Heard did was not consensual.
She
and
just pooed.
did it. She just pooed.
Or
right,
it
so
could have
let's-
been the dog.
Let's get back to the scat man. Larry, do you know how to musically scat? Wow. Can we go around? Can we go around and see everybody?
I already did mine. Don't make me do it again, damn it.
No, listen. Please, Brian. We need to scat. Pat, you need to scat. I will scat. We will all scat together.
That's
I
a
feel like
terrible
there's
idea,
only
Sean.
two. Like, unless you're a professional scatter, there's only two that you do. You either do what Larry did, which is bleep, blop, 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 Or you go.
It's a jazz scat.
When I think of scatting, I think of like Louis Armstrong. He did like a lot of scatting in his.
Yeah, because it's a jazz flow that
it's
you're
like jazz.
following.
It's like jazz bluesy.
You know, okay. Pop quiz trivia question. First one to answer gets my love and affection. Who was the last wrestler to scat? And I'm not talking poo. Not yet, at least.
Like actually scat, like in the band?
Oh, MJF.
Boom, Larry. Nailed it.
Oh, that's right. Live
He
on
had
TV.
a whole scatting thing.
Yeah.
Did
You
a
know
whole
what's a
scatting
good
thing.
example of scat? You know
What?
a good example of scat that is like watered down is Mambo number 5.
Ah.
1, 2, 3,
3,
4,
4,
5.
5. All the
Everybody
bullies
in the
over
club,
here. You
get
better
on
watch
the
tonight.
side. Yeah. That's like a very slow scat for like old people at the wedding.
But he's saying words. That's not
So
technically a scat.
this is basically a homoerotic joke about me and Larry having
It's
sex
not,
and pooping.
Ryan. It's not technically scatting, but like you
Just
get
the way
that
he's flowing,
song.
I know what you're saying.
It's a song that's like slowed down.
So this is
Right,
about
right.
this poster's
I feel
about
you.
me and you pooing on each other during sex.
What?
Yeah, I thought somebody was saying that we were just masters of our skiddly bop bop words. But no.
That's a good play. That's a good
probably
pun.
saying that we encompass both. We're masters of linguistics, and also one of us
Cunning linguist.
shits when they fuck.
What?
Larry, that was only one time, and it's because I had nachos.
Yeah, they'll do it to you. Pizza will too.
Yeah, you know what the best part of being single is? Shredding farts at Liberty.
Well, that's weird because I'm engaged and I shred farts all the time.
Yeah, but engaged, you shred farts during engagement.
No, even pre-engagement, we were shredding farts. You're just uncomfortable boy. You got to open.
Yeah,
your
I got
mind.
a tight little butthole.
You got to open it up. You got to get like a little plug. You need a plug.
My brother uses shitting in front of his partner as a litmus test for how serious they are.
Yo, that's not a bad idea.
Just sitting on the toilet, right?
He will openly like shit with the door open in front of his partner to like litmus test like how strong this shit is. And if they like freak out like, yo, what are you doing?
Wow, so because I've been holding in my farts, I've never experienced true love.
Right.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's facts.
You're crazy, Pat.
That's absolute facts.
You know what it is?
No, we're all trying to like shoot it. I was trying to shoot it somewhere else.
Sex. You don't practice anal sex.
Don't be ashamed of your farts. Everybody farts.
Yeah, no, everybody poops. But you know, I'll act like I'm like my butt's going out the door and then just shoot it out the other door, you know. Just like as a courtesy, you know, like in the other room, like the toxins can go into the other room. We can still
true love, you poop and then you show your partner how big it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but the toxins from your dick are fine just all over her, right? Like that because cum doesn't smell great. It's not like a
doesn't it depend on what you eat? Doesn't it depends on what you eat?
Just, you know, oh, enjoy this, bitch. Here's my nut.
Hey, we're off the rails. How you guys doing?
Right before we try to get monetized, guys. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I think the feed dropped.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm gonna start setting up for the comment reading, the weekly comment reading. But I want you guys to tell me about your
annual. We do it every year.
We do it every single year on 420. I want you guys to tell me about your favorite Halloween candies and possible Halloween wrestling stories. Let's talk about it. Shawn Michaels, you go first.
Is that a serious question, Pat?
Yeah, you know, talk about favorite wrestling Halloween memories, wrestling candies, Halloween candies even.
You know, I'll be honest, I wish I had like a really good like you know what? Favorite wrestling Halloween themed match is definitely Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
Oh, that's
definitely
a good one.
100%. And then 96? That's 97, I think. And then like 98 had the cage match with Roddy Piper and Hogan. So that's like something that like always stuck with me. It was like, I know Halloween Havoc's coming around. The cool set is gonna come with the pumpkin and that creepy guy. Favorite Halloween candy is definitely a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. I'm a peanut butter boy.
Peanut butter boy. Zandigberg.
God damn it.
Oh, it's a Zandigberg.
Zandigberg.
D-I-G-Berg.
Right.
Zandigberg.
Digberg.
Exactly.
I was throwing the Z in for you.
Zandigsburg?
Yeah, like, because, Ginsburg.
No, but I'm not Ginsburg. I'm Zandigberg.
Oh, right. My bad.
God
Go
damn it.
ahead.
All right. Well, my favorite Halloween moment is actually the day before Halloween when we were at the last extravaganza for the Matt Tremont RSP no rope barbed wire match. Holds a special place in my heart. And favorite
This
candy
match is
are
hilarious.
Whoppers. Whoppers. I'm a Whopper. I like the malt with the chocolate.
Oh, you would like a Whopper.
Is it a Jewish thing?
Yeah.
Sean,
Zandig-
please. Please.
Anti-Semite.
No, wait.
God damn it.
I had never heard about this. Tell me about this. The Jews like malt candies?
Chocolate, malt chocolate.
I like malted too. Yeah, like malted milkshakes.
So my grandfather was, if you guys look this up, Sammy's restaurant was on Christie Street in the Lower East Side, and it was a Romanian steakhouse, a Jewish Romanian steakhouse. My grandfather was the head chef there from the 80s until the early 2000s. So everything that I ate growing up was of Jewish delicacy. I also grew up on the Jewish side of the Lower East Side. So I'm kind of Jewish myself when it comes to speaking to my friend here, Mr. Ginsburg.
I'm just like I'm kind of Puerto Rican. Wait, pa.
There we go. We share that.
Puñeta
All
vámonos.
right, so you're speaking from a place of cultural knowledge, not assumption.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
definitely,
bro.
it's definitely on point because I love malted things, malt liquor.
Yeah, but just because you're
Yo.
Jewish and love or like something doesn't mean that Jewish people just like it.
Well, it's a stereotype. Look at my nose.
Well, is that some kind of offensive mask? Should I be mad at you? Did you buy some kind of like?
I am Zandigberg.
Did you go to the racist Halloween store and buy
No,
something?
do you want to know what this mask actually is?
I didn't even know that there's
it's
a
called
racist
This is an
Halloween.
Uncle Bobby mask. It's Uncle Bobby. This is called Uncle Bobby, and it's a Canadian TV show from
It looks
the 70s.
like the guy that goes like
It's like Howdy Doody. It's like a Howdy Doody kind of thing.
you remember the guy that was going on
But I'm
around
Zandigberg.
and he was like, they were like, what's your Halloween costume? And he would pull off the mask and he would say some like really messed up thing. That he was gonna do something right into somebody's thing.
Can we talk about goddamn wrestling?
Larry, tell me about
Whatever.
Tell me about your favorite Halloween candy.
My favorite Halloween candy is by far candy corns, and I like the
Okay.
I like the mixed bag. I like the mixed bag when you can get like the pumpkins and the
Mm.
candy corns that are like brown and orange and white, and like I just love candy corns. I could eat like a whole big bag of them. I think they're the most great candy for the season.
Do you ever
100%
boof
agree
them
with
before
you.
you eat them?
Huh?
Do you ever boof them before you eat them?
All right, enough of
I always
this. So
spoof them.
anyway,
I always spoof them.
yo, Ron Nemi last
What about
week.
my memory? What about my memory?
Oh yeah, please go for your memory.
What about my memory?
You know, I'm honestly gonna say that I'm with Brian that the last extravaganza, the one after Danny Havoc passed away, was really kind of special because we were during pandemic time. You know, that was 2020. That was 2020. And Tremont packed that fucking building. Like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck what you heard. And I feel like it was one of the first promoters to be like, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. And
Oh
for
yeah, we were
Danny
inside.
Havoc,
We were inside. It was the first like
we
event
were
inside.
inside.
Yeah,
Door
closed
open.
quarters,
Big,
closed
big
quarters.
door open, and it packed, dude. You couldn't even move. Couldn't even move. So I think that was a sign that, you know, even though we were all kind of nervous about like, are we going to be able to wrestle show anymore? Is wrestle show going to happen? Tremont was like, if anything, I'll do the show.
Oh, they did that fucking show.
And they did that shit. So yeah,
That's
that's
dope.
probably one of my favorite.
Low Life
Oh,
Louie wrestled on it too.
And also, 2 Halloweens ago when I participated in the fucking Battle Royal. How about that?
Right, that was going to be mine.
Ago on what was it called? What was that shit called?
Destiny original.
Destiny, yeah. When I wrestled
Something.
in this very getup.
Was that Halloween too?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh shit! I
That
forgot
was
that.
Halloween night. That was
Jesus
Halloween night
Christ.
when you stopped MLJ.
Right. It's
With
an
your
infamous night. Infamous
throw-
night.
your
Screaming
throat.
from the outfield in an empty baseball stadium and
What the
stopping.
hell did you
What is
say?
that thing called when you walk around the fucking park to buy that thing?
The promenade.
What the hell were you trying to get his attention for?
Yo, that was such a good day.
He was just like, he said something like, "You don't have as many followers" or some shit, and whatever it was,
we crushed him. We crushed his life.
About like Emmyl's stature, and then Emmel was like, "My fucking followers love me." Like it was so petty, and
he didn't even get to announce. He didn't even get to announce them because they just killed.
I think at first we went for the classic "wait for a breath." You're an idiot scream, you know, like something, 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 something. You're an idiot. And then he immediately whipped his head around and was like, you know, I forget what he said. But and then we were like screaming at each other. Me and Brian versus MLJ scream fight right before the main event in a baseball stadium.
Wow, legendary shit, dude.
So he blew the announcement?
Well, we won because we lowered him to our level.
He was trying to like keep the crowd at ease because they were like taking a while. So he was just like in the ring schmozzing.
He was just like in the ring
bullshitting.
Yeah.
Right. He was spieling around. And we fucked his spiel. And then he got tight, and then it was funny.
Poor guy.
So yeah, those two.
Dude,
both thanks to Father Tremont, might I add. Both of those moments, thanks to Father Tremont. And I advise.
Thank you, Tree.
I advised Big Mont and Mrs. Mont. I said, you guys should make your WrestleMania like the H2O like season should always be Halloween.
Always.
Hell yeah.
I told them they should do that.
That's a good idea.
Tonight, doesn't he have his like premiere?
Well, Mickey Knuckles, it wasn't tonight, but the Mickey Knuckles just won the fucking Tremont.
So I guess they're following my advice.
Right. Dude. So this weekend, Halloween weekend, he had a tournament.
Tremont's Deathmatch.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Which was dope because the graphic was dope. They did like a House of 1,000 Corpses flyer, which was fucking awesome. And yes, Brian, you're right. Mickey Knuckles won, but Sean mentioned it before because, you guys know how I'm like not really prone to excitement.
Ornaments?
As far as like wrestling stuff coming up. But I've been talking about for like 2 weeks in the group chat how I'm so excited for this cinematic horror movie match between Cruel and Matt Tremont.
Buried Alive match. Cinematic Buried Alive.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for that. And that comes out this evening. It actually comes out at 8 o'clock. I wish we could do a watch along of it.
Can we?
Yes, we can. But we have
Low Life Louie. Low Life Louie pops in at 8. Let's give him some respect. God damn it.
We should watch it with Louie. Let's get a live reaction.
That's kind of a hell of an audible to be called.
Yeah, no, I would have to set it up.
That's a large audible.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be opposed to at some point this week watching it together.
If it's good, let's.
I'm definitely gonna watch it because I'm actually excited about it. So yeah, Tremont kind of is like the Halloween guy. He does.
I think he kind of has a corner more on the market. The first Last Extravaganza was my H2O debut. And the only reason I did it, well, I'm not going to say the only reason I did it. Well, Danny Havoc himself, the man himself said, Larry, we want you to have...
They had the whole tournament for the Danny Havoc championship.
Bro, the first Last Extravaganza, Danny Havoc was alive for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The first Last Extravaganza was the year before, and he asked me to be a part of it. It's the first H2O show I ever did. The second H2O show I ever did was the last. The other one.
Right.
That was like he died, guys. So yeah, I gotta say that's probably like candy corns. I love to boof and eat. And fucking Tremont shit.
Right.
Yeah, that was going to be mine.
Cheers to Danny Havoc and Matt Tremont.
I was going to say the stadium show where we got to hang out with Marcus Crane for the final time, and Larry helped.
Oh my gosh,
God damn it.
Yeah, and
that's
Larry,
the first time
Larry
I ever
participated in the Battle Royal, and of course, a very well-known and my favorite story about Ruckus and the Ribs in the Battle Royal, and just
well, we know that's your favorite story because of the car ride home.
Right. Yeah, that was when Cass and I finally broke up.
I know.
And I cut a 3-hour promo on him just for my time.
His ribs weren't hurting. His ribs weren't hurting. Too bad to reach over that van and grab you.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had his adrenaline going.
And Brian, you were just crying, huh? You were just.
I was just like, hey guys, relax.
Take it easy. You're friends.
Brian,
Wait, let me just say one thing. I'll never forget during that ride home when Cass like tried to talk to me to try to like come to me for like say, hey Brian, do you hear this guy? You hear this guy? I was just like, yeah, he's kind of right.
That is right. You did say that I had some. You're like, he has some valid points. This guy's making a lot of sense. So I appreciate you. Thank you, Brian. You did not play Switzerland.
No, I didn't. I wasn't Swiss.
You did side with me, which is of the utmost importance. Our guests.
Wow, I didn't know that part of the story. I didn't know that Cass appealed to you.
Yeah, he tried. He did, but he wasn't right. He wasn't
right.
Yeah, he wasn't. I was right about everything. In much of my dealings, my delivery was the downfall, not really the point.
Oh, I can hear it. You don't even have to tell me.
The way of the road.
Yeah. Yo, it was a good one. As far as a CMB, complete mental breakdown, anger, it was one of my best. So anyway, I want you guys. I have an emergency that I have to attend to downstairs right now. I want you guys.
What the fuck?
Whoa! Stop everything!
Emergencies
Don't yell at me.
There could be real emergencies.
Don't yell at me. It's an emergency, okay? I have to go for a second, but we're completely on schedule. I want to talk about Ron Nemi, and I want you guys to go around and talk about how dope Ron Nemi was. Then we're going to read the comments from last week. We're going to do the giveaways from last week. We're going to do the giveaways from this week, and we're going to keep it moving. All right? We're going to get to the guardrails tonight. We're going to get to Larry's East Coast.
Hurry up. Now you got to hurry up because we have 30 minutes until Louie comes.
All right. Well, you shouldn't question me. Shouldn't fucking question me.
Talking about Ron.
I didn't say anything.
Let's talk about Ron first.
All right.
What happened with Ron?
Well, you talk about how awesome he was as a guest last week.
Oh, it was so good. So good.
Yeah.
It was dope.
I'm glad that he said things that maybe I even have kind of danced around. Right when I first left, I went on kind of a little Twitter tirade about how I wanted to get away from the toxicity, and I got jumped on. Like, don't you dare say that our shit is toxic. Don't you dare say that it's toxic back there. Well, Ron co-signed it. And that's why Ron's an XPW now. And that's why I'm an XPW now. And that's why we have a dedicated photographer to take stunning photographs of us and value us. And we don't have to worry about someone handing us drinks at the commentator's table to try to get us drunk, because at XPW, they want us fucking drunk on the commentary.
Fucking facts.
So,
you guys were fucking lit, dude. You guys were so fucking lit.
I'm just glad. I'm glad Ron did a little
shoot. It was quality stuff. We love Ron on this show. He'll be back.
Yeah. Because he's got a lot of stories to tell. And I also just want to shout out Sean again for hitting some of those real high acidity, Jeopardy-ass questions that I think really kind of like brought everything together. Like, you're a zany figure that a lot of us are being introduced to, but you have a legacy in this industry that is international. That's major.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sean, for really pulling that out of our guest.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I value that, and I know when to really soak it in when it need be. You know what I'm saying? It's not many times where you get to come in the presence of someone and actually have their time and have the ability to ask them the questions that no one's ever asked. And knowing just where he's come, where those feet have touched, it's best to ask, especially if you're trying to make it somewhere in this business.
1991.
Dude, that's like wild, bro.
Dude,
that is
what
crazy.
The fuck?
I was
Like
6 years
there.
old.
You were in grade school.
I was
Were you
fucking
born,
1 year
Brian?
old, dude. What'd you say?
Were you even born?
I was 1 year old.
I was a year old. Year old out there, like
you were
newborn
shitting yourself.
And before
Shit.
Brian was
puking
even
everywhere.
Before Brian was even a boof in his mother's mind, Ron was in the Air Force.
Freshly circumcised.
Before Brian was even circumcised, Ron was in the Air Force as well. Right? That's what he said, right?
That's what he said. He was in the Air Force.
And then he was in Florida, and then he was by, what he said, not the Spectrum. What he said it was? What arena?
Spectrum. Ron's on the Spectrum?
Maybe it was the
Florida
Spectrum. The Florida
Spectrum
Tampa.
Arena.
Yeah, that was
The
that was awesome.
The Tampa. It was awesome. Everything Ron said,
dude.
everything he contributed.
I will say
awesome.
that for the last week, I've kind of been laughing. We've all been laughing about. I asked you guys to pull your favorite clip, and unanimously, it was Ron's inexplicable breast math that he had. Like his breast physics are just so amazing.
He's a boob boy.
He goes,
He likes
I have small hands. And, for a guy to have small hands, you should go back and watch it because it really is a fun interview.
It makes sense. It makes complete sense.
For a guy to have small hands, there are no real advantages to that, except if you start dating a girl with huge breasts, because then they look even bigger in your hands.
That doesn't make sense to you?
It does, but it's just
that's like 1 + 1 = 2 to me.
Hilarious thought. Like, I don't know. That's very, very funny to me. Yeah, thank you, Ron. Let's get to the comments from last week. Brian, what were the giveaways?
The giveaway is the 3 NGR. It's the giveaway of the 3 NGI cards from the History of GCW card pack.
That is dope. So basically, we have
1, 2,
completely reworked the giveaways. And all you have to do is comment on the video of what the giveaway is to get randomly put into this new port box. Surprise, I already did the work, and all of your names are in here already. And we're going to pick it out. If we do get remonetized, though, maybe we'll have like a member giveaway as well. Because we lost all our members from demonetization.
Makes sense.
All right, Pork Chop Express, shout out. I see you in the chat today. I saw you talking. I just ignored you. He says, awesome show as always, boys. Brian didn't cry about any misprints or rips, so shout out to him. Clap, clap.
Nothing was misprinted or ripped.
Way to go, Brian. You didn't Karen out about a card last week. So Pork Chop Express, you're entered. Oh, wait, what's the giveaway this week, Brian?
Oh, the giveaway this week is a sticker set from 1998.
Word?
Wow. Stickers.
Sean, I knew you were going to like this when I saw him send the photo to us.
There's stickers from 1998.
Who are the stickers of?
You don't see who.
Oh, there's Chelsea Green.
Your fingers are over them.
I'm sorry. I'm going to take off my glasses.
Oh, my God. That looks so... Can you look at the camera again?
It's so creepy. It's so creepy.
What is wrong with you? Can you
79-year-old Glenn Digberg.
It's the eyebrows that get me. It's like, what?
All right, you got Goldberg. And they're double-sided. It's kind of like a trading card, but it's a sticker. I don't know. If you peel it off, I'm wondering...
Don't peel it.
Don't peel it.
No, I'm not going to peel it, but do you think that it's Goldberg will still be there, or will it be blank?
No, it'll be that entire page.
Brian, that's not how a sticker works.
No, what do you mean?
But
I'm saying the sticker, it says peel.
All right, keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
It says to peel. It's peel here. It says peel, but it has a back.
You should choose one to peel.
If you peel it off, will this image still be on this card?
All right, now I want you to peel.
I don't know, man. I want this though.
Peel one.
Come here, little girl.
Well, I'm not going to peel one because it ruins the set.
Yo,
Diamond Dallas Page.
It's me.
DDP.
DDP. Ooh, yeah.
Red and black around your hand. The
That's a
Wolfpack
dope
is back.
shirt.
It's the best. It's something. The bad
Wolfpack
boys
Sting.
of wrestling.
I was Wolfpack Sting for Halloween one year.
Terry.
Yo.
Kev. Big Kev.
Oh, you know he's Puerto Rican?
Conan.
Conan is Puerto Rican. The hitman, the man right there. That's my guy.
There she is, Chelsea Green. Larry, did you see that last night?
The giant.
Insano.
Whoa.
Yo, Larry, last night, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven dressed as Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil, and Piper Niven wore fake chest hair and a goatee, and it was the best thing I've seen in WWE in so long.
They all have backs with descriptions, and they all say tops. So I'm wondering. I'm just.
So how does one get these cards, Brian?
So
they comment on this goddamn video.
Yeah, comment on this video. Right now, we're reading the comments from the last video to do the last giveaway. All right, cool. So Grog Fu says, and this is a great point, Ron Nemi should have his own podcast.
I would say that's a fact.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
People want to know what that motherfucker has to say.
That's a great comment. This is a great comment too. Chris Chaos 90 says Desert Eagle would have been a #1 hit if it featured Schlack and Larry Legend. So we love that.
Facts. Facts.
Charles Collins says bands need to start sampling Larry Legend's quotes right before the breakdown hits, which I totally agree.
Yeah, that's genius.
Move the corn.
It's about to go. Jen.
Yeah. Slack has done that. Slack's used my hole. I'm on a couple Eat the Turnbuckle tracks.
Or
Smart. See, so
Yeah.
Eat the Turnbuckle is not a huge breakdown band though. It's like I'm thinking about a specific like a saying like have you say your shit and then have a huge
you know
crushing
how
breakdown.
Sometimes they'll have like a Mean Gene interview where it's like you're about to go out there and take on the world heavyweight champion, or Dusty saying violence for the sake of violence. They've done that with me where I like that kind of like intro the like
right.
Kind of like it's like the band warming up. I'll get it for you.
I love that.
John Richter, friend of the program, says this interview with Ron Nemi was awesome. I was hyped when he mentioned JAPW since I'm from Bayonne. Looking forward for Life Louie Ramos, who will be on tonight. And then he sent us 2 metal sign emojis. I think that looks like a cucumber, blood, and then an eggplant. So that's fun. Jedi Joe. The real, like a real wrestling promotion. Baiting and switching week in and week out. Yeah, with our giveaways. No more baiting and switching with the giveaways. No more, I promise. We're just trying to keep it fair and get people moving. We want everyone to
That's because Jedi Joe won again, right? That's because Jedi Joe
won like
again,
2 weeks in a row
no.
and we screw jobbed him twice.
He's part of the program.
He's part of the franchise, yes.
Part of the franchise.
Brendo says, this was a great episode as always. Frozen Pat might be a new reoccurring character like Schlack. Okay, here's my spiel. Uh-oh. This looks like it might get a little deep. We might get a little serious here because there's a spiel coming.
I like spiels.
Brian, you beautiful boy. You, all caps, need to practice interviewing people. I know I'm not the only one that would really enjoy you doing whole interviews yourself. Whoa. All right. So, if you practice, you can do it yourself. P.S. I want you fellas to know that the show helps people more than you know. Helps escape reality and the real world for 2 hours. Bullies forever.
I love that shit.
Yo, that warmed my fucking soul.
That's some real shit.
Yeah, we want to help you escape.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we're all doing.
We're escaping right now, Brian.
That's what the fuck we do.
I'm escaping.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel the same way. You guys watching helps me get motivated to keep doing. And we escape too. We get to escape too.
I just escaped.
I just escaped my pants. Okay. IGC Productions 2001. I wonder if future IWA South shows are going to be streamed through XPW? ? And then Behind the Storyteller's Lens says, yes, they will be by STF Media. Larry, care to comment on that? Do you have any inside info?
Yeah.
Do you want to share that inside info?
Yeah. So you know how IWTV just has like a bunch of shit? Just a smorgasbord of like companies like and their whole libraries? Well, like Rob wants a bunch of shit that's exclusive to stream XPW. Like All Holes Film.
Wow.
And Theater of Brutality.
Let's get this show on fucking
Carnage.
Let's get Blvd Bullies versus the World streaming on XPW.com.
And maybe eventually we grow to something like Blvd Bullies versus the World as exclusive content for streamxpw.com. So yeah, I think that because the Carnage Cup kind of went off without a hitch, There were some little glitches, but definitely a better.
It was enjoyable.
Sort of a better presentation than any Theater of Brutality. Besides the one that was in Rochester that Rob was there for himself. I think for sure.
Well, to be fair, I'm sorry to cut you off, Larry, but the Theater of Brutality that they filmed and then showed the next day wasn't bad. It was just bad that they advertised it as streaming live and then didn't. You know what I mean? Like that's what they fucked. This time they fucked up the live stream because they did it live and there was no sound. So it's like last time they nixed the live stream and just released it properly the next day, which was not bad. I thought that was good. I enjoyed it.
Should that be the approach that everybody takes?
If they can't do a live stream, then it should just be filmed and then released on extremexpw.com.
Brian, if it has been advertised as being whatever, and for whatever reason, every single time it's not whatever it's advertised as, but Carnage Cup, IWA can get their shit off without any fussing or mussing about it. It might
in the middle
be slow,
of fucking nowhere.
But their sound, then we fuck the Theater of Brutality. We can't do this unless Rob is there, and Rob can't afford to be there.
And the winner of the giveaway, show the cards from last week, Brian. Drum roll, please, Sean. No. You know what? Give me a scat.
Oh. The best scatters, Rockapella from Where the World is Carmen San Diego.
There it is.
And the winner of the giveaway from last week is IGC Production 2001.
Our boy.
But you're singing
You're singing Hanson, and it's Where in the World is Carmen San Diego? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
So listen, there's one more thing I gotta tell you. There's one more thing I gotta tell you about these giveaways. Now that your name has been called, you have to get in touch with us. Because, you know,
well, I have I Got Characters Productions address because he's been.
I guess that is I Got Character Productions. I guess that did change. He changed his handle.
Oh, well, are we?
He fooled your ass,
him. I don't think
he did fool me. I just read it.
Well, I guess we should confirm.
Well, but anyway, whether you're
the fucking guy didn't even hit us up. Little freak never hit us up with his address.
Freak. Well, that's why I wanted to mention that, like, you know, whether you're
Little Freak hit us up, and everybody who wins hit us up, or you're not getting anything besides a shout out.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. All right, hey, we did it. We did it, guys. We got through it. We got Life Louie on the program tonight. I mean, it's Halloween, so I don't know if Slack's going to pop in. He's been busy probably murdering people in his windowed van now. But, Larry, you are extremely tired. I see that you're falling asleep at the wheel here. Tell us about your boots on the ground, red eye forth and red eye back weekend. You did the space between NYWC and Long Island on Saturday. And then immediately, I guess what did you say? You slept at JFK and then went out to XPW on Sunday? Tell us all about it, baby.
I didn't sleep in JFK. I just walked around.
Oh, jeez.
I went to the family bathroom because it was warmest. Like, I don't know what happened, but it got really cold at night inside the actual terminal. So, like, I went to, like, you know how there's, like, the men's bathroom, the women's bathroom, then the family? Yeah. Or like gender neutral bathroom. Like I literally went inside that for an hour and just sat on the toilet in the warmth of that little bathroom because it got really cold. But I had no choice. I was guaranteed by the promoter of NYWC that, hey, we'll have a place for you to stay close by to JFK so that when it's over, you don't even gotta worry anything. We'll get one of our guys, they'll get you there. Well, Pat, you've hosted an NYWC show.
I already know where they wanted you to stay, Larry.
Dude. By the end of the show, it was somebody was worried about any more logistics besides get to the after party.
Right, yeah.
And the promoter was gone.
Like
so
gone.
I'm like,
Like he left. He had
luckily,
already left for the after party.
gone. Well, I didn't see Shane. I saw him at the end, but then he was gone.
Well, how'd the show go? Was it success? Was it a booming success? Did they pack that bitch out?
They had quite a bit of people in that theater.
That's a big building.
I would say, as far as the theater shows are concerned, the theater shows. So we're talking DJ Hyde, CZW, the new CZW is in a theater. I guess you could count like the Ukrainian Center, Brett over there. That's pretty much a theater that they're in.
Mhm.
I would say as far as the theater shows are concerned, it was packed. It wasn't sold out. It wasn't sold out, but it was packed. But the thing about the theater shows is that there's a lot of space on the floor for people to just stand.
A lot of space between,
there's a lot of
if you will.
Yeah, exactly. The space between the seats and stand. So there was a lot of people. We did another Hall of Fame. Mikey Whipwreck was there. Little Guido was there. Fucking Tommy Dreamer was there. Mike Mondo was there. John Silver was there. Alex Reynolds was there. It was a little Long Island love affair.
That's great. And Joey Conway was there.
Joey Conway,
friend of the program. You know who wasn't there? Man Bun Jesus, who wrestled the NWA pre-show live on YouTube and showed up and showed out. Friend of the program, Man Bun Jesus. Congrats and shout out to him.
Word up, y'all.
And also,
listen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and also, JT Kaysen won the NYWC Tag Team Championship titles with Mikey Whipwreck. JT Kaysen's been on the program before, so shout out to him. He's a guy. He's our guy.
Beer, Blood, and Body Slams?
Yep, Beer, Blood, and Body Slams. He actually came on one of the shows. Did he come to like a Halloween show?
He came to the Halloween show last year when I shaved my face and I was Saul Goodman.
And he elbow dropped the pinata.
And we all elbow dropped the pinata. God bless. Yo, it was a good night for Blvd Bullies family. Can carry on, Larry. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Mikey, I guess, is back.
Well, he's gonna have to defend.
Like, I didn't know. I thought it was like Mikey was back for a special occasion, but he won the tag belt, so I guess he's back.
Yeah, now he's back.
Or maybe he can make a video from his house of being attacked by masked figures, so that JT Kaysen has to find a new tag team partner. You know, maybe it's like, somebody gave me a Tanya Harding and I can't defend. So I guess one of the students will have to fill in as the tag team replacement. And then he'll send in a video.
You want to book for NYWC again, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm booking for them right now. You know? And so, and it's just...
Listen. It was a family-friendly show. That's what NYWC does.
Yeah,
and guys, the venue, we all were saying, dude, we need to start doing the circus, which if you don't know is NYWC's biggest show.
The WrestleMania.
We were all saying, dude, the circus needs to be from here. Now I don't know if that's gonna be able to work with all the the circus is kind of like they do kind of a cage of death setup, like wings, cage on one side, barbed wire and shit. I don't know. With a theater, again, we're talking theater life. I don't know. But dude, it's a grand like ballroom in Westbury, in a very quaint little neighborhood, a very quaint MAGA neighborhood.
Oh, it gets pretty MAGA out in the 631, Larry.
Yo, I stopped one time. I had stopped to use the bathroom, and when I went into the diner, they were like, "You from here?"
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, it's crazy.
What? I was like, I'm just stopping. They were like, "From where? Where you going though?" I was like, well, what does it mean? What does it matter where I'm going?
Oh, it
matters. Because I forgot.
Yeah, it gets crazy out there. And you know what? I've lived in New York City and the surrounding greater area, and there's no worse popo than the Suffolk County PD. No, there's no worse popo.
Yeah, Zan Digberg says, fuck Blue Lives Matter.
All right, so we got about
Black
5
Lives Matter.
minutes, approximately 5 minutes before Low Life Louie comes on. But, Larry, right after NYWC, you flew over to LA to do XPW. And then XPW had a whole thing. We have deathmatch drama concerning XPW. So what should we do? Maybe we should just tease it until after Low Life Louie. Tell us about your travel.
All I'm gonna say is this. I'm not even gonna talk about the weekend. I'm gonna talk about me. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about me.
Okay.
So guys, I was not like getting on my high horse and like wanting to do this shit. I was not wanting to do NYWC Saturday night, XPW Sunday night. But as is wrestling, Rob Black did not get that date into us of October the 29th until well after I had told Shane I will do this fucking Westbury shit for you.
Right.
So then that puts you in a position where you don't want to be like, oh, dude, I got to go to LA. You just want to be like, well, can the LA promoter fly me out of New York?
Yeah.
And if the LA promoter's like, fuck yeah, then you're like kind of fucked. So yeah, I had a good time. I made a little bit of Skrilla, but it's like kind of like proof positive that I need an agent or like I need like a contract to prevent shit from this happening because it was not fun. I got
Dude, and
drunk.
at XPW, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but at XPW, you're not just ring announcing. You're like fucking doing fucking double duty on the booty, dude.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, that's what I mean. So I was at NYWC the night before doing the same thing and then some. That's why I didn't party after XPW because I already partied on Long Island with Brittany Savage.
NYWC Hall of Famer in my eyes, Brittany Savage.
She's a Hall of Famer of everything.
You're goddamn right.
Shout out Brittany Savage.
So yeah, it sucked. It sucked, y'all. I was having the time of my life. Do you feel me? I was having the time of my life. But bro, it fucking sucked.
Did you
and then Pat and Sean, I'm sure you've kind of experienced where you're like doing something and like someone like calls out to you and like you think like what they're calling out to you for is important.
Mm-hmm.
But then they just like want to show you a baseball card or something like by Tommy Dreamer, and you're like, dude, I love you, but why the fuck are you talking to me right now, bro? When I'm walking to the back to get Tommy Dreamer's info to show me this shit.
Those are called punishers.
I think I bet you I could guess who that was, but I'm not gonna say.
Right. And NYWC, I bet you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like,
big time.
Why am I even falling for this?
Right. I knew the whole time that it wasn't important.
Well, I know. But they just kind of like, they want to hook you. They want to be like, look, I know his name and I can say it and he'll stop. Which is also why anyone watching that fucking guy got on commentary on XPW. Right. Because I talked to your dad, Brian Jeff Anderson, during one of the breaks. I said, what's the best part of the show? Jeff said, this guy in the crowd doing commentary.
Oh, Jesus.
I said, oh, he's good? And the crowd was like, yeah, he's great.
Don't ever listen to that crowd ever
go
again.
over there and get with Ron Beebe and do commentary.
You sent a fan who was doing live commentary to the commentary booth. You promoted a fan across the guardrail into commentary.
On another fan's word. On another fan's
on
word.
another fan's
Jesus Christ, Larry. And it was terrible. It was terrible.
Hold on.
I was very upset.
Not just on another fan's word, but also when Jeff said the best part of the show has been this guy commentating, the crowd erupted around him. They started popping like, yeah, this guy. And I was like, oh.
They're all Van assholes.
Right, Larry, we are getting a resounding wave of opinions in the chats saying that you made the wrong decision.
Lousy take, Larry.
It was a slight miscalculation in judgment by you, and that guy was horrible. Now this is verbatim here Who let the weird guy on commentary? That dude ruined the Angel Body match. The marks have taken over. Oh, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Stop everything.
No.
Hey.
No.
Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Deathmatch Hall of Famer.
Look at that hair.
The winner of the first H2O No Ring Deathmatch tournament that I was in attendance for, and I saw Kenzen get stuck further into Life Louie's skull than I've seen it get stuck into any man's skull ever. But I see that your hair grew back. So, hey, everybody, Life Louie in the house.
It's an honor to be on here, guys. I appreciate the invite. It's a crazy day. Halloween's a big day for me for a number of reasons, and this just tops. This is the cherry on top for this Halloween. It means a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Did you
It means a lot to us.
Yeah, it does mean a lot to us. So, living legend, did you take Life Louie Jr. trick-or-treating today?
Oh, my son is actually, that's one of the things that sucks. My son's an adult now, and he's actually at his job. So
Okay.
he's working today. So,
Good man.
it's a little different. Yeah, it's a little different this year. It was just me and my daughter and a couple of her friends, and that was pretty much it.
Awesome. Dope. Did you wear that out in the streets?
Yes, I got a lot of compliments and a couple of Tekashi 69 comparisons, but whatever. Whatever. I rocked it. I'm about to take it off now. It's itchy like hell. I've had it on since about 4:15 this afternoon.
There you go. There he is. There he is.
Hey.
I'll be watched over by my Jason Pillow and my Michael Myers buddy.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I want to let Larry take the reins here, but I just got to ask you what we've asked everybody in the chat today. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oof. I am not a big candy person. I'm a big Four Loko person.
How many Four Locos? How many Four
Don't get
Locos do you consume a day? Let's talk about the Four Locos.
On a weekend?
Yeah, on like a free
On a
day.
Saturday?
Yeah.
On a Saturday, I wake up to 2 cups of coffee around 5 in the morning. I wake up with my dog. And then by 7 o'clock, my wife will be yelling at me because I'll be drinking a Four Loko by 7 a.m. on a Saturday.
After the 2 coffees.
Usually, after my coffees, usually 4 of them on a Saturday.
Oh my God!
So 4 spread throughout the day.
Four Loko
Yeah, 4
cubed.
spread throughout the day. Yes. Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
That would be 16 Loko. Yes.
16 Loko.
That's why I wanted Brian to book you on the show, because I said, we need somebody who's a worse alcoholic than I am on this program.
It's not only like I'm just drinking Four Loko. I'm drinking like rum. I'm drinking brandy.
Shots? You're doing shots out there?
Yeah, I'm doing anything on the weekends. But on weekdays, it's funny. I'm cooking dinner for my kids because I beat my wife home. So most of the time I'm cooking, and there's usually a bottle of some hard liquor there. I'm taking shots as I cook every day.
You beat your wife at home.
My wife home from work.
All right.
All right, Larry, when did you and Life Louie first meet? MEAT.
When did we meet? I guess ICW at over there in over by the store, all the way over there by the store.
It could have been that, but I definitely remember you 100%. Urban Wrestling was when you came into my conscience back in 2011 when we worked together for Urban Wrestling. So that's 12 years I've known you.
Well, right before Urban Wrestling, I got my first my tryout with ICW. That was the time Moff broke that kid's face. Rob Fury, the black kid, he broke his face.
Oh,
he
I
gave him a
remember
burning hammer.
Yes.
Killed him.
You mean ICW New York when they used to
like around each other?
Pre-chain,
so that was like
pre-chain,
2011,
right?
but yeah.
Right.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
2011 is when we first came in
2011,
contact.
Yep. That's 12 years of friendship. I love Larry, and the best ring announcer in the game, bar none.
Go.
Fucking facts.
I got a question for you, since we're talking about horror and scary shit. What was the most horrific thing throughout your career that's happened to you in the ring?
Okay. The two most famous ones, and I'm gonna rate them the least. This is crazy for me to say, but the least, it was the second most gruesome, was when Nick Gage cut me with the pizza cutter and sliced my temple
Oh my
artery wide open.
God. Yo, I
Uh,
forgot about that. That was at the
4 inches
5150,
wide.
right?
4 inches wide. Yep, the $150. It's 4 inches wide, a half an inch. No, it's 4 inches long, a half an inch wide, and a quarter-inch deep, and it nicked the artery.
Jesus.
So, and obviously in New York, that was cause for immediate concern and match stoppage. So it sucked. But by far the most gruesome and horrible one wasn't visible for another 36 hours. I wrestled Masada in 2016 for On Point Wrestling. 7 minutes into the match, Masada slams me outside the ring on a metal fan, like a surf fan.
Yeah.
Shatters 4 of my ribs. One goes in my lung. And we all know Masada, who he is and how tough of a man he is. I wrestled Masada for 17 more minutes with broken ribs, one lodged in my lung,
Bro.
until I legitimately stopped breathing. And they had to call the match. I went through a can door, and at that point my body just shut down. I went about my business the next day. I knew my ribs were broken because I had broken them before. But funny enough, my wife ended up in the hospital that day with pneumonia. As I'm leaving the hospital to go to work, I collapse in the lobby of the hospital.
Thank God you were there, man. Jeez.
I go back to the room and tell my wife, honey, I'm not feeling good. The nurse, because I had been there overnight with her, the nurse is like, your breathing sounded funny. Let's get you checked out. About half an hour later, they're rushing me to ICU. They're like, your lung is punctured, you're bleeding internally, and it just collapsed.
Yeah,
That's why you stopped breathing
Your
like that.
breathing's a little funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I was sleeping, exactly.
Yo, that's fucking brutal. And I never will forget. And like based on those two stories, this is probably nothing to you, but it traumatized me forever. I was like, yo, I fucking hate this shit. It's like they had a Kenzen in your head, and Casanova fucking ripped a fucking TV into your head and plunged it so hard that we all spent like 20 minutes trying to get that shit out of your head. Because like one end went in, it didn't go in even.
It went in. The end on here, towards the left side of my head, was completely in my skull. To where Casanova, nobody could get it out with their hands. Many people tried. Thank God this young lady, and I forget her name, and I'm sorry, whoever you are, I love you.
Yeah, we had pliers. I'm standing right there.
She had pliers, yes. And Casanova, as big and strong as he is, used those pliers to get it out. And I'm very proud because every time I watch that video, I literally do not flinch at all or show any amount of pain at all.
Yo, and when that shit finally came dislodged, it was like a crack as loud as you could like crack your knuckles. It was like it was fucking brutal, dude. I wake up in cold sweats about that to this day.
But to me it wasn't. To me it was graphic, and yes, but as you could see, you're selling it in the ring, and all of us here are smart to what we do. Wait, I'm not fucking breaking down any type of wall that hasn't been already broken. I'm selling for the most part. Legitimately, after 27 years, most of my head has no feeling. So it wasn't even that bad, believe it or not. And like just the other day, I had a fork stuck in the top of my head for like 2 minutes. It was waving around as I was taking bumps. So,
jeez. Ugh.
27 years, Louie. Who trained you?
Man, the notorious 187 Homicide, the greatest trainer anybody could have ever asked for.
Friend of the pro.
Not only one of the greatest wrestlers that walks the planet Earth, but one of the greatest human beings walking the planet Earth.
Do you have a Homicide impression that you can give us?
You have to go to CM Punk for that.
Well,
CM Punk has
I
a
didn't
good
even
one.
think about that. A lot of people do the Homie. So how long?
I do not.
How long did you wrestle? I don't know what you say, like traditionally before you started dipping your toe in the death match.
It's funny. I started doing like backyard death matches. That's how I started. And then I started like a little underground fed called IWW. And it had Monster Mac, Low Key. I don't know if you guys remember the Christopher Street Connection from many years ago.
Of course.
Yeah. They were part of my original crew. And Homicide noticed us. Lathon Tower Torture noticed us. And at Pedro's gym in Brooklyn, he started training us. They started training us back in 1997, 98.
Doghouse?
And that's who I came up with. And I started doing like little backyard stuff with the camera, little deathmatchy stuff, bleeding, hardcore stuff. I always wanted to do that. Ever since I saw ECW, and even before, ever since I saw Abdullah in Puerto Rico, I wanted to like bleed, from my forehead in wrestling matches. So I took to that, and Homicide, God bless him, man. He had only trained me like maybe a month or two, and I was doing an IWW taping. We used to tape it for public access, and he had just come off doing. Excuse me.
Eminem.
Yes, Eminem, exactly, man.
Yeah, we know.
And he had come down to the school. He had done Jersey All Pro. He had done a barbed wire match the night before. And he said to me, he's like, you want to wrestle hardcore? I'll wrestle you. And again, he had only been training me a couple of months. I was greener than baby shit. And we did a street fight match. We had the sink, we had weapons. I bladed too much. It was ridiculous. But that was to me like, oh man, this is like my opportunity to keep doing this. And I've never stopped. And that was 1997. So I've never stopped since then. My love for deathmatch wrestling is, I'll say this, and I've said it in a lot of interviews, and I'll say it again. I love deathmatch wrestling more than I love myself, more than I love my mom. My mom will tell you that, more than I love anything on this planet. I love deathmatch wrestling more than that.
That's fire, bro.
Well,
I want to ask you real quick.
Go ahead, Sean.
It's okay. I want to ask you real quick. You got into your early days real fast, and I want to ask you about your Christmas tree death match with Homicide.
Yep. First ever Christmas tree death match, first ever Christmas themed death match. Jersey All Pro, December 16th, 1999, Charity Hall in Bayonne. Yep. I was actually talking to Stan Styles from the Intergender Bonanza, who is
Sizzling Stan Styles.
Sizzling Stan Styles. He actually has me pegged to do a Christmas style hardcore match on his next show. So that's a scoop. I hope I didn't, scoop him on that. But
he's not going to remove you.
I'll be part of his next show doing a Christmas tree hardcore style match. But I told him, I said, yeah, I did the first one with Homicide. It was just a crazy idea. We had like all these crazy weapons in like, gift wrapped and stuffed around the ring. The tree had barbed wire on it. The bottom rope broke during the show. So they used a strand of barbed wire as the bottom rope. And Homicide at that point was starting to get really well known. So for him to put me over was amazing. But I think that was his last death match for a while, because that's when Jersey All Pro started to get a little heat for it. And they transitioned him to a more traditional wrestling style. And the rest is history with him. He showed how great of a wrestler he was. But he did do a lot of death matches in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely seeing that. Your name definitely pops up with a lot of the synonymous names in Jersey deathmatch history. Where do you see Jersey deathmatch now from back in the day, like 97, 98?
It's amazing, because back in 97, 98, there was always the North and South rivalry with CZW, but it was basically just words. Who was better? What was better? CZW at the end never let go of the hardcore, while Jersey All Pro got tied up legally and had ended up leaving Bayonne because of the hardcore. And then they ended up going towards a more hard-hitting, strong style, which is Doug, God rest his soul, and Rob Feinstein go on record to say that Jersey All Pro and their style is what basically was planted the seeds for them to do Ring of Honor. So, with JAP, they went that way. CZW, of course, maintained the hardcore, ended up going to Japan. I stayed loyal to Jersey All Pro as long as I could. After that, the laws in New York started getting really loose, and Frank Goodman from USA Pro gave me a shot. Did a lot of hardcore there for many years. And got away with a lot of crazy stuff that you couldn't even get away with in New York now. So a big shout out to Frank Goodman. A lot of love and appreciation for him for giving me that platform, and that platform helped me get matches with guys like New Jack, Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten. All three of them are God rest. All three of them, guys like Abby, and then eventually Terry Funk. So working for Frank Goodman really opened a lot of doors for me and kept me in the eye when it came to hardcore. But sadly, not sadly, but CZW definitely won that in Jersey because they remained hardcore for many years. And even for a while they left Jersey, went down to Delaware, went to Philadelphia. So Jersey was tight for a while. Christine Whitman, wherever she is, she's a politician. Go fuck yourself. Your hate for deathmatch wrestling makes me hate you. And I hate using that word, but yeah, fuck you. And just it's tremendous to see a guy like Nick Gage get in there still. He's one of the guys that started along the same time as I did. Madman Pondo is a deathmatch. He's like God to me in deathmatch.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned this the other day about Madman Pondo. His longevity, his tenure, his good reputation, his international status. To me, that makes him the greatest. The fact that he wrote a book and is in a video game. His crossover into movies. That to me makes him the greatest living deathmatch wrestler of all time. Madman Pondo, shout out. But to see Nick Gage, icon, 100%. That's a perfect word. But to see guys like Matt Tremont, one of my best friends, and one of the few guys that I still work for at my advanced age, it's amazing to see him become from a young kid in South Jersey to the most decorated American deathmatch wrestler in the world. You know, there's a few guys catching up, but he's still on top when it comes to that. So many great guys that have come out of this area, deathmatch wise. Jeff Cannonball, Tremont, Brandon Kirk, Jimmy Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Alice Colon is originally, I know he represents Ohio, but he's originally from South Jersey, the 609. So, man, there's so many guys that come from this area that are great at this hardcore style, and it's amazing.
Brian,
who is your favorite person to work with? Do you have a favorite?
You know, I tell Jeff Cannonball this all the time. My favorite match of all time was Jeff Cannonball versus Life Louie, Survival of the Sickest One, July 16th, 2016. It was a great match. I loved it. It meant a lot, and it was the victory that propelled me to win that tournament. I went into the finals not knowing, and I won the whole thing that day. And, you know, he says, oh, you've wrestled this one and that one, but that's still right up there with one of my favorite matches. So Jeff Cannonball would definitely be one of my favorite opponents. Matt Tremont. I love wrestling both those guys any day of the week. And then there's two guys that a lot of people aren't familiar with unless you are really hardcore, follow H2O, Anthrax and Stretch. I've wrestled both of them numerous times, and they are amazing, insane, hardcore to a T. Anthrax introduced the corn cob holders and jammed them in my skull and all over my body. And they were the two people that I trusted to be in the ring when my son debuted professionally. So you can imagine the amount of love and trust I have for Anthrax and Stretch. So shout out to both of them. And again, those two guys, I'd work with them any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Fuck yeah. Who goes on the Deathmatch American Hall of Fame? I mean, Mount Rushmore.
That's, for me, American. There's two generations of American deathmatch to me. There's the, you know, before 2005 and then after. Because like when it started,
that you said this. I love that you said this. So yeah, continue.
Because to me there's a line. It's a timeline where it starts to change. But for me, the original generation, of course, Pondo, Ian, Funk, Mick Foley. That's it. Without Terry Funk, deathmatch wrestling doesn't get the burn or the love. His reputation before he became hardcore helped propel hardcore. The fact that he wrestled Mick Foley in the first King of the Deathmatch finals, it showed up that a guy that was a former NWA World Champion, when being the NWA World Champion was the most important wrestling prize in the world, is now a hardcore wrestler in the finals of the Deathmatch tournament. It legitimized what we do. And Foley winning made him the original King of the Deathmatch. And he's a Northeast guy. He's from Long Island. So big ups to that.
Word.
And then obviously, you know, Ian Rotten, you know, without him, a lot of the IWA Mid-South and a lot of the madness that deathmatch wrestling is known for doesn't happen. And again, the aforementioned Pondo, he belongs up there. And then when it transitions into like basically like hybrid death matches, there's only four guys that I can think of, and that's Matt Tremont, Nick Gage, Masada, Danny Havoc.
Wow, that's it. That's it. That was a great debate that we actually engaged on an earlier episode of the podcast. And I was going with all those legacy guys that you said.
Patrick
Axel,
yelled at you, Larry.
Foley, and Pat was like, "Oh God, no!" But you're right. There's a line. There's
Yeah,
a line where you have your forefathers, and then
Yes.
the ones that they
Yes.
paved the way for.
Yeah, exactly. Without those original guys, listen, without Funk, without Foley, without Pondo, and without Ian Rotten, who I wrestled a handful of times, there is no deathmatch wrestling without those guys. It stays in Japan and it stays in Puerto Rico. It doesn't leave that area of the world if these guys like Funk, who has this amazing trajectory, the only man to ever work. I shared it one time. The only man to ever work like TNA, WWF, WCW, ECW, All Japan, New Japan, this, that, and everywhere else on the planet. And he legitimized what we did. So Terry Funk, God rest your soul. I know he recently passed, and it was an honor to wrestle him, and it's an even bigger honor to speak about him because of what he meant. And people will never understand. They're like, oh, Funk wasn't a deathmatch wrestler. No, Funk was legitimately one of the greatest professional wrestlers that has walked the planet. But look at how well-rounded he was, that into his late 40s and 50s was doing deathmatch wrestling because he knew it had value. For anybody who says deathmatch wrestling didn't have value, go back to what Terry Funk did. We're here because of a guy like that, putting a stamp on Mick Foley and other guys. Wrestled and worked with the Rottens in ECW. Worked with Public Enemy in a barbed wire match in ECW. Without that man, what we do today is basically confined to much lesser arenas or maybe even backyards still. So Terry Funk will always... A debt of gratitude is owed to Terry Funk by every single person that has ever participated in a death match.
Well said. Well
said, bro.
Well, I have one more question. You were just recently inducted to the GCW Hall of Fame. So I'm just wondering if you find it weird that they book you in the Hall of Fame, but they don't book you to wrestle so much. Or are you just happy to be in the Hall of Fame?
That's a two-part. I'm going to answer it in two parts. Last time they have offered me a couple of shots recently, not recently, but about a year and a half, 2 years ago, shots that I wasn't able to make, like last minute, like somebody called out or somebody wasn't able to make it. They did offer me a couple of opportunities, not going to lie, but these opportunities were at a time where I couldn't make it. I'm a family man first and foremost, and sometimes it's hard to be called upon last minute when you have to take your son to his job or your daughter to her rehearsals for her play, or you have to go food shopping with your wife. Those things at this point in my life come first. They have to. Even though I love wrestling more than I love myself, like I said, certain life, responsibilities have to come
beyond
first.
yourself. It's beyond yourself.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a fact.
It's beyond anything.
Especially as a father.
Exactly, 100%. So I couldn't take those opportunities, but the opportunity they granted me at the NGI 5 a couple years ago in New Jersey, right after they started lifting the COVID bans, that match with Mance Warner is in my top 5 favorite matches of all time. If you ever watched it, go check it out, man. I put my stamp on that match. Mance Warner is a beast. He deserves being in MLW. He deserves to be on national TV every week. I know he got one shot at AEW. I don't understand why he wasn't signed. Mance Warner is not only a legitimate talent, he's just amazing in and out of the ring. But to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, it meant the world to me because, yeah, so what? They don't book me to wrestle. They acknowledged my contributions to deathmatch wrestling. And at the end of the day, money doesn't matter. Money comes and goes. We can't be, unless we're Aretha Franklin, we can't be buried in gold caskets. Okay? What matters the most is the memories, the miles, the brotherhood, and memories like that. That'll hang on the wall, and if I'm buried one day, that shit might come with me or it'll be passed on to one of my kids. That plaque has no monetary value. To me, that plaque is basically a nod to 27 years of blood, sweat, and lots of
Thank you. Because people have actually approached me about selling. People have approached me about selling my CZW Hall of Fame plaque. And I'm like, bro, that says Larry Legend. It says it. I did something. And someone
Exactly.
got enough of what I did to put my fucking name etched on a plaque. It's not going anywhere. It's invaluable.
And no one could take it away from you ever. Because at the end of the day, once we leave this physical earth, that memory remains forever, and that name remains in that Hall of Fame. So whether
Instant
it's
time in history, bro.
GCW, exactly, we become a part of history by having that kind of honor, and that can never be taken away from us.
Although we don't see eye to eye, shout out to Brett Lauderdale because I think that Hall of Fames, honestly, I think that Hall of Fames are another thing that legitimizes what we do.
Yes.
And,
100%.
for a while, CZW kind of was on the ropes. So shout out to Brett Lauderdale for raising that flag for a Deathmatch or a GCW Hall of Fame to keep names like Ruckus and CM Punk and Life Louie and all the ones who paved the way for your Blake Christians and your Nick Waynes and all of these kids that are doing it now. It's important that those things exist. So shout out to Brett for keeping that legacy going.
100%. He was the first person. There was 100 people that I wanted to thank, and obviously when you're in that kind of environment, you have a set time frame. But he was the first person I thanked because without him, I wouldn't have been there. So yes, big shout out to Brett Lauderdale. Thank you.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yeah, he's not all rotten.
Halloween question. What's your fucking favorite horror movie?
I don't know if you guys can see it. It's dark. But I have
I see it.
tattoo. Yeah, Friday the 13th movies, especially part 6, my favorite. Obviously, the Jason pillow over my head. It rests on my couch most of the year. And I love him. I love Jason Voorhees. He's my spirit animal. You could do anything to that guy. He keeps coming back, kind of like me. And shout out to Schlack, one of my favorite opponents. One of the toughest fucking guys you could ever get in the ring with. He's responsible for my last handful of tattoos, and all of them are always top-notch quality.
Dude, a fucking
great conversation. Yeah, hell yeah. Great conversation when I'm in the shop with him. He's tattooed my wife on a number of occasions as well. And nothing but love for Schlack.
Well, fuck Schlack and fuck Brett Lauderdale. I want to know about you wrestling Terry Funk. Tell us about that story. You mentioned that before. I didn't even know that about you. Our research department failed. I need to know about this.
I'll tell you the story right now. It's 2003. I had just come off working Abdullah the Butcher at the Elks in July of 2003. I get a call from this guy running this small company called Ex-Buco Pro in Connecticut. He was running the Bill Williams gym at Southern Connecticut State University on a Sunday in September 28th, 03. He's like, dude, I want you to wrestle Terry Funk. Terry Funk is wrestling Homicide, and I knew Terry Funk was wrestling Homicide for Jersey All Pro the day before in Rahway. In Woodbridge. And this guy was bringing him in, and he wanted me to wrestle Terry Funk. And I was like, dude, I thought it was a rib. Homicide called me like 2 days later. He's like, bro, come to Jersey All Pro. You need to meet Terry Funk. He's wrestling you the next day. When Homicide tells me that, I knew it wasn't a rib because he wouldn't do that to me. And with Homicide, him and Funk, they got along quite well because Terry Funk broke in Manny Fernandez, who helped train Homicide. Yes. So immediately there was a bond there. So when Homicide brought me to Terry, he's like, yo, this is the guy you wrestling tomorrow. Terry was nice and humble and just amazing. So by the time I get to the building that Sunday, I'm like, I'm wrestling Terry Funk. The match was easy. He was awesome. His left hand was stiff, but great. And the craziest part about it, he's throwing chairs at me. One chair actually knocks out half my tooth right there. And of course, I've never gotten this fixed. I used to work a corporate job, corporate security. I was the head of a security in a corporate building in Manhattan for many years. When I walked into the job with this tooth missing, they're like, you need to go fix it. I'm like, you could fire me right now. This is my Al Bundy 4 touchdowns in a single game story.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
We're watching you on this tablet right now. We're watching this.
Yep. Exactly. And he throws a chair. He breaks my tooth. after he actually knocks out my tooth, I put his own finishing hold on him outside the ring, which is, to me, the most mind-boggling thing. I'm doing the spinning toe hold on Terry Funk.
That's literally just what happened on this tab here.
I still don't understand that. That still arouses me sexually.
Hell yeah.
Makes you come. We understand.
Yo, that's fucking awesome. Yo, do you have anybody left on the docket? Like, you have a list of like things before you ride off into the Sunset Park?
You've never fought Pondo?
Me and Pondo were booked 3 different times, and all 3 different times. Frank Goodman had Pondo signed, sealed, and delivered in 2004. When I ran into Pondo at King of the Death 04, Pondo said, "I'll see you in September." Frank Goodman has all the info. He sent it all to me. I've committed. 2.5 weeks before the show was supposed to happen in Queens, me and Pondo, he gets the call from Big Japan, which at the time basically was his livelihood. They paid him quite well to come in. So, of course, he had to bail out. Then Matt Tremont had it booked for May 2020. We all know what happened in 2020.
Right.
Yo, I'm going to tell you right now.
Larry's got to convince Rob Black to get you in
breaking
there.
news right now. Blvd Bullies got some shit in the works for Philadelphia Mania 40. And I now will not sleep until we get Life Louie versus Madman Pondo. First time ever.
Oh, shit.
I'm in.
Blvd Bullies extravaganza?
Yo, that's it. That's what we're doing.
I'm in, but
you're in.
I'm in. That's the one.
We get that done. Pondo loves us. We can get that done.
It always fell through for some reason.
All right, but you got to promise us right here, right now, that if somebody tries to undercut us before April, that I'm gonna email this motherfucker tomorrow, and we're gonna start getting
Pondo know.
Yeah, we're gonna get these wheels in motion.
Pondo we actually had a date. He actually had gotten us a date in Michigan somewhere, and at that point, this is when they were just letting the COVID, all the lifting all the bans and stuff.
Right.
And that's when my job fully opened up. So again, that's when this real life shit kicks in. They said, look, if you go and do this match, you can go, because they know I wrestle. You can go, but you have to quarantine for 2 weeks, because that was the law in New York if you were traveling.
Remember that? Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they said to me, they're like, if you do this, you may go, but you'll have to quarantine 2 weeks without pay. Can't afford that.
Can't afford that, nah.
Nope. Yeah. I'm telling you right now,
the promoter wasn't paying,
that we are doing a live podcast, all holes filled, collaboration. Simulcast. And the headline of that event is going to be Life Louie versus Madman Pondo. I tell you right now.
I didn't even know this was happening.
We're going to make that happen.
Dildo Deathmatch.
It's going to be dildo cinder blocks.
Yes.
Whatever.
That's it.
I'm in.
Write it down. Write it down. And Creed's going to play.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going too far. We're getting out of hand here. Off the rails.
Other than Madman Pondo, I've worked with, shout out to guys like Casanova Valentine, who tried to, me and Larry were with Casanova a couple months ago. Casanova always looks out for me. And, again, I'd like to have
take it or leave it.
I did a no ring against Cass. I'd like to do an in ring with Cass.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I've worked with Cass twice, and both times no ring. Man, as I look back, I've worked with legit. I'd love to run back. Obviously, I'd love to have a rematch with Nick Gage. I don't know how feasible that is. I'd love to have a rematch with Masada. I don't know how feasible that is.
You fought Dreamer?
I teamed with Tommy Dreamer.
But never fought.
Never fought, but again, I worked with him alongside him, which was even more cool, because I got to team with him.
You just wrestled Hoodfoot in ICW, right?
Yes. That was awesome. That was awesome. And again, let me say this, and again, I'm not breaking any walls. At this point in my life and career, winning and losing does not matter. I just want to give back and put on the best matches and the bloodiest matches. And I told them that in the locker room, and The conversation me and him had was one of the most heartwarming and heartfelt conversations I've had with a guy that I've worked with in a long time. And
Yo, Hoodfoot's a good dude. He's good people.
He's a credit. He's a credit.
Yeah.
But we love the body too. We love the body too.
Well,
listen. I'm gonna tell you something. The body stole my spot because years ago, and if we could get Ian Rotten on the phone, I asked Ian Rotten to let somebody staple my nutsack to my thigh, and he didn't let me.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Now that is some piping hot tea right there.
But did the body knew of this story? Did he?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, I think he did. I think he did. I think he stole it. I think he fucking stole it.
I do. You do.
He stole it.
Rat bastard.
If I've met the body, it's been in passing. I don't recall. But listen, he was able to pull it off. More power to him. Why? Yo, get those hits, get those views, get those likes. I love it. I don't hate. I appreciate.
All right, final fan questions.
If there was a guy like that willing to do that with me, I'd do a fucking dicks out death match with that dude.
I definitely
we need that.
Listen, if he staples my cash sheet on my thigh, who cares? I don't give a shit.
I definitely was
fucking go, dude.
I was ringside for an H2O show where it was you versus Connor Claxton. And somehow a double-sided dildo, one side was in your mouth and one side was in your son's mouth, and then he hit you guys with a double clothesline.
Yes,
and that made me so happy.
Legendary shit.
Yeah, it was so legendary.
And you know what? Like somebody actually commented, "Oh, this borderline's on child pornography." No, you idiot. That's my son. My son has helped me build dildo bats since he was 6 years old.
Yo,
okay, that's number one.
Before we do final questions and say goodbye, let's talk a little bit about your son who wrestled his first match, who I met at the same time as you because, you know, like it was just osmosis for me. And he's a great kid. And he's getting into the business. What is your like hope for him? What do you like talk to him about? As
First
far
of
as
all, I'll tell you, my son and you guys are almost all guys. We're almost around the same age, so you guys can notice the difference in generations. This generation is a little less motivated. They're a little lazier, and they want to live on the social media. They don't want to get in there. I went from 350 pounds many years ago. I'm down to 240. I'm in the best shape of my life at 47 years old, almost building new muscle every day. And I can't get my kid to get off his fucking phone. You know, so that bothers me. And I tell him every day, Junior, you got to lose the weight. You got to lose the weight. I'm not going to say that the fact that he was home for 2 years due to COVID and being being homeschooled on a computer, being able to run to the refrigerator, being able to have a refrigerator and a pantry full of food because his parents provide for him. Should that be held against him? No. The fact that he's still lazy now, yeah, I get a little mad at him all the time. But I love my son, and he has a passion and for the business, and he's second gen, and he has a brain for it. So I tell him, I said, dude, you got to put in that work. You can't live off my name. You have to put in the work, just like I did. Homicide didn't hit me nothing. Sometimes when I'm in a locker room, I'll be like, yo, 27 years after I've started doing this, I think, yo, what would Homicide say if I did this or I did that? And then I'm like, I'll be, well, fuck you, don't do that. I'll be like, yo.
Oh, little impersonation there. Little slight
tiny bit.
You got one.
I would be like, no, I would never intentionally try to embarrass or underplay the people that put me here. So that's why I always go balls to the wall. Always 100%. So like, again, my son is of a different generation, a different era, a different way of life. They've gone through a lot of different shit. The COVID put a lot of weight on him, and it's just remained. And I tell him, I said, number one, you got to lose the weight. Number two, you got to sacrifice and be more dedicated. If he does those two things,
stop chasing pussy.
Chase more pussy, he'll get thinner.
Exactly.
Gotta start running. Gotta start running after the pussy.
Yeah, but a lot more running.
He's focusing on graduating right now. He got a couple of scholarship offers for college.
Hell yeah.
So I'm very, very proud of that. Thank you. Very proud of that. And again, I tell him, hey, man, do the wrestling. Go to college. I gave up going to college to pursue the wrestling. I told him, go to college. The wrestling will always be there.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
advice.
Good advice.
Yeah,
It's good advice.
get some collagen, make some fucking, make some money. The wrestling will always be there. You're already somewhat trained and you already know the deal. It won't be hard to get back on the horse once you lose some weight, and you have an education to back you up as a plan
Right.
B. So
Hell yeah.
that's the things that I tell him. But I'm very proud.
Fatherly advice.
I'm extremely proud of him, and the fact that I got to team with my son is one of the greatest moments of my life,
hell
because
yeah.
when I held him in my arms the first day when he was born, I always saw that, and for it to actually materialize meant the world.
Hell
I have one final question.
One final question. Final questions for Louie. Drop them in the chat as well.
What is your thoughts on the Deathmatch Elite and the things that
God.
go on inside of this Deathmatch forum?
You know what? At the end of the day, I'm just going to say this. I love everybody. I try to love everybody. The fact that there's forums of people that love deathmatch wrestling mean the world to me, because they go out there, they support, they buy merch, they watch the shows, they subscribe to these streaming channels. They're the ones that keep us in business, basically, because without the fans, there is no us.
That's a fact.
The fact that there's beef between them, that's on them. I particularly stay away from drama, stay away from beef, stay away from anything toxic. I steer away
threw
from
that away by being on this show. That's for sure.
No, hell no. Listen, if anybody got any heat with me for being on here, let them come to me, speak to me like a man. I don't got heat with anybody. I don't have heat with anybody. You can ask anybody. In 27 years in this business, my reputation, that's the one thing I'm very proud of. My reputation is spotless.
But wouldn't you agree that there's a difference? Like, I think that everybody throws the word heat around a little too much. Like, wouldn't you agree there's a difference between, like, heat and maybe a, like, professional disagreement or, like, a cultural disagreement, or whatever? Like, heat is such a, like, hateful word in a way.
Yeah, we can all agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We're all human beings with our different backgrounds, different opinions. We come from different walks of life. The fact that is toxic to some people is disgusting, because at the end of the day, that's how we were brought up. And if we're good people and we take care of our own and we take care of other people and we're respectful, we're honest, we're hardworking, we're giving, what the hell? What we have to say, if we like one guy and we're not fans of another guy, that doesn't mean we hate the guy, but that immediately becomes, oh, you don't like him, and I hate you now. That's ridiculous.
All right, final question, Sean.
People are sensitive.
When's the next time we can see you in the ring, Louie?
I am booked. My next 3 shows, I'll tell you right now, H2O, November 25th. Stan Styles Intergender Bonanza, Thursday, which is a weird date, December 21st. And then, again, H2O, December 23rd. And I don't know if I should say this on air.
You should.
But I'll just say this. Somebody reached out to me from a company that does death matches in the area. They asked me if I was available. The date that they offered me, I'm not available because I have a prior commitment, another booking. But hopefully I will be seen in that company soon enough.
Let's go. Good stuff to hear, man.
Yeah. And obviously
and if I'm in that company, I'll get to see Larry. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, jeez. Oh, whoa. Hey, oh. And obviously, mark your calendars, because Philly weekend, like I said, I'm not going to sleep until we make this shit happen. Larry, final question.
We brought him up a little bit earlier in the cast. Any thoughts on Marcus, your time with Marcus Crane? I know you fought him at one of the rare ICW shows from the Mecca in Ridgefield Park. Any thoughts on Marcus Crane?
Me and Marcus Crane were tight. First time I ever met him was at the one of the first ever shows I went to in Howell. We shared a beer together. I had my cooler of beer. He's like, yo, you have an extra one? I said, sure, brother, for you, of course. And I didn't know him from Adam. First time I ever met him, I said, great job in the ring. He wrestled Danny Havoc that day, another guy who I missed tremendously. And in conversation, I said, I also drink this. And I pulled out the Four Loko from my back pocket, and we shared the rest of that Four Loko. And I would see him at subsequent shows, and we became good friends. Always shared great times together. We shared that one Four Loco death match together, which was our brainchild. Both me and him.
Ooh, I was there for that. I was there for the Four Loco death match.
We thought of I made all the weapons, but a lot of them were his idea. So without his brainchild and without his idea, I wouldn't have been able to pull off all those weapons I made. And the match is special for me for a number of reasons. So, Marcus, wherever you are, I love you, and I know I will see you again, and we will share a Four Loco again one day.
Hell yeah. Yo, everybody in the chat and my lads here, let's all clap it up for Low Life Louie. And you know what? We're getting resounding comments in the chat saying that this is the best take on this channel ever by Low Life Louie. So, yeah, you know what? I'm inclined to agree.
Thank you, guys.
Yo, thank you, dude. Thank you. You've always been cool to me. You were so cool on this show, and man, I can't thank you enough, my friend.
Listen, I'll just say this to you guys. I thank you because you're allowing me to. You guys support what we do wholeheartedly, and that means the world to me. And the fact that you're giving me a platform to keep speaking about it, it means even more so.
Yo, hell yeah, dude. Hell
That's
yeah.
it, man.
Yo, put the wig on one more time for old time's sake for us. Just put the wig back on for us as we say goodbye. Everybody say goodbye to Low Life Louie. Thank you, Low Life.
Thank you, Louie.
Yeah. Thank you, Low Life Louie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yo, thank you, dude.
Yes, sir. Hopefully you will.
Yeah. Love you, live for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Deathmatch Hall of Famer, Low Life Louie. By the way, you gotta hang up. That's a final. The final thing is that you.
Oh yeah, you gotta hang up.
You gotta hang up.
Your screen.
I will hang up.
Touch your screen and
love you. Love you. Hang up first.
Yeah, press it. There you go.
Press it. There you go.
You got it.
Double tap. You got it.
Peace.
Yo, peace. Yo, thank you, yo. All right,
Love.
Hang up now.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
He's still here.
Is he? Oh,
No.
no. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We're getting there.
Leave. It like leave. It says like leave.
You gotta like hit it and then
the red
hit
button.
end.
It's usually the red button.
Yeah, you gotta hit it once to.
Don't worry. This happens every week.
It's kind of like a new thing.
I'm trying to get out.
You guys are old. It's all right. The older guys can't figure it out.
There we go.
He did it.
79-year-old Low Life Louie.
Yo, dudes, I gotta tell you.
Louie took it off and taken
Hold
it
on.
off.
Hold on. I'm gonna just say this.
Please.
I'm gonna just say this. Y'all know he's a Sagittarius.
Yo, is he a Sag?
No
Bro,
way.
we know how to talk. We know how to fucking talk. We can just lead the interview. Yeah, all we had to do was just be like, "Go ahead, Lou."
Yo, and he was so well spoken.
Is he in December?
He said aforementioned.
Bro, it's just, it would be the same thing if we had Sunny Kiss. I bet you if we had Sunny Kiss on this program, it would be the exact same type of let's just have a conversation.
Yo, that was so dope.
December or November?
December. He's a December Sag.
Yeah,
he's like at the end. He's like around there by Austin and Mox.
Yo, some of the shit that he was saying, I was getting like some chills down my spine. You know what I mean?
When Sean held up the Terry Funk video as he was telling his story.
Oh, great job, Sean.
Dude.
Great job. Excellent job by you. Yo, give it up, Sean. Yo, and that's like, for me personally, that's kind of what drew me into Deathmatch too, or that like thought process, is the idea that like the art and the legacy and the footage is like bigger than you. You know, like the first person to show me that concept was Mick. You know what I mean? So like, Mick wrestled Terry wrestled Louie, and it's like, man, like, Sean, you said it before in this episode and last week. To talk to a guy from the 90s, to talk to a guy who was like doing this before social media. It's like, what a fucking blessing. What a fucking delight. What a fucking light. Larry, I bet you wish, Larry, that that mask had eye cover so you could just be asleep. Well,
I'm tired.
Was that schoolgirl Amanda walking by?
It was the schoolgirl that lives here on Halloween.
Yo, what
It's
a
Halloween
time.
night.
What a time. Okay, listen, we got 10 minutes left. I would love to run 5 minutes over because we got to get into some serious, very thick, very palpable deathmatch drama.
Dude, what's the most important shit? We just better hit the most important shit. I think it's the guardrail.
That's just give me a goddamn second. Of course, I have all the guardrail stuff pulled up. Sean, do you want to read the article that came out from Blvd Bullies News? Would you like to do that for us?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Blvd Bullies News on October 31st, late edition. Guardrail gone wrong at XPW Halloween in Hell 4. In a night filled with bone-crunching action and unexpected twists, XPW made its presence felt at the Artel Plaza in Van Nuys, California, with Halloween in Hell 4. The event proved to be a hellacious night of wrestling, blood, and bombshells. One of the marquee matches featured the MAGA Butcher squaring off against Judge Joe Dredd, creating a slobber knocker for the ages. The intensity of the match spilled beyond the ring's confines, leading to an unexpected incident. As the two behemoths battled, the guardrail came into play, accidentally striking a fan who was closely watching the action from ringside. What followed was a scene of chaos and concern. XPW's diligent medical staff swiftly rushed to the fan's aid, only to be met with an unexpected reaction. The fan, seemingly irate and in his Freddy Krueger costume, shoved the medical staff aside and violently pushed her, adding all this to the confusion. The situation escalated further as the local police was summoned to the scene by the stricken fan. To Freddy Krueger's surprise, the XPW medical staff made a police report of their own as well. In the aftermath of the incident, we reached out to XPW to inquire about the presence of a deathmatch doctor on the premises, but we have yet to have an official response. As the dust settles, ladies and gentlemen, of Halloween in Hell 4, one thing is clear. XPW continues to provide electrifying and unpredictable moments the world of professional wrestling needs.
So walk me through this. Obviously, I watched this. Obviously, I'm all in and I watched this. But just explain to me what happened in a way that pretends that I didn't watch it. MAGA Butcher threw a guardrail, and the guardrail toppled over and hit a man in the head?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very... Dude, if you don't... You didn't see the clip? You said you saw it. Like he gave,
yeah, no, of course I saw it.
You said explain it to you like you've never seen it, and you just explained it exactly as it happened.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't see it.
What happened.
So basically what happened was, as Butcher does, as he normally does when he gets into the ring, the battle spills onto the outside. As they're making their way around ringside, the guardrail gets picked up. Butcher usually flings them down, or he throws them directly on top of their back. As Dredd was walking, the guardrail bounced off of Dredd's back, falling in a counterclockwise motion, striking the fan.
And Sean, I have a live photo that you took personally of the Freddy Krueger man shaking hands with the police officer. I'm showing it on the screen right now. Tell us what you witnessed.
Well, listen, Robert England was there with the police officer explaining what exactly had happened in the event space there. From my understanding, the medical staff reached out to us, the Deathmatch team over here in New York and New Jersey, to let us know that she was actually struck by this man, and she took the liberty of pressing charges on this guy. He seemed to be fine as he was able to strike the medical staff, so the fan is fine. The fan is perfectly fine.
So wait a damn second. You're saying that the guardrail struck the fan.
Yep.
The fan struck a person of the medical staff, but then went back to call the police on said medical staff.
No, he called the police on the show for getting hit in the head with the bat.
And Pat,
for a barricade.
They didn't want the XPW medical staff examining them to be like, "Oh, you're fine."
They
wanted the authorities to get there and be like, "Oh, let's take a look at this and see what's actually happened." Because of course, XPW people are going to be like, "You're fine. Just put some dirt on it."
Yeah, it's a little raspberry.
Yeah,
so, right. So the guy he violently shoved the medical staff out of the way.
Wasn't it really a violent shove?
Violent enough to get a police report written up about it. He called the police, and then when they came and arrived, he filed one, and then she also filed one about him assaulting her for coming to help him.
Dueling police reports.
Dueling police reports.
We have a photo here. And Sean, where were you to walk us through? You were staying at the same hotel, and you saw this transaction. It looks like a bribe might be taking place right here. Like that handshake might have a few bills in it, if you know what I mean.
Quite possibly, Pat. I was actually there trying to figure out why there wasn't a deathmatch doctor on the scene. Over here in New York, New Jersey, they have Orlando. Worldwide, you have the deathmatch doctor ringside, Sean, and I will be at every show to make sure and guarantee all of our deathmatch wrestlers are taken care of well each and every time they step in and out of that square circle.
Dr. Nuba.
And I'm a great negotiator, so I could have probably mind melded this guy into walking away if I was there.
Well, listen, if it's in his best interest, he stay away from anything deathmatch related. He can't hang.
He can't hang. He might wind up in the bottom of the goddamn Delaware water gap if he keeps talking like this.
All joking aside, one thing that I think kind of sucks about it is that these two fans were kind of themed. You know, they were themed fans that went out of their way to fucking dress like, hey, Halloween in hell. Kind of like the fans on the other side that had the Ginsburg signs.
Yo, I want to talk about that too. There were West Coast fans that had Ginsburg signs, dude.
My family, dude.
Yeah, my family.
You know, I've shit on you every step of the way, Brian, and I just want to pay respect. Sammy Sosa. I just want to
ignited a revolution. Ignited a revolution.
You ignited a revolution.
This whole year, brother. It's been a goddamn escapade.
The Dalai Lama of the deathmatch scene.
I cannot
fucking
believe it. Hey, Brian, show the giveaways for this week one more time.
It's a whole set of stickers. We don't know if you peel the sticker, if there's still an image on the card. There might be. I don't see why there wouldn't be, because there's backs. Because it wouldn't make sense if you
Brian, would you be willing to fight this Guardrail cop caller in a charity boxing match at the next XPW show?
You want me to box, dude? For charity? I'd box for charity. It would be fun.
I want to know, Larry, what you've experienced both California crowds, the old Derby room, right? That's what it was called. For XPW?
Yeah, the dirty room.
The Derby room, now this room here in the hotel. And you also have been in Newark, right? I want to know what you feel is the more lively, ravenous XPWs here crowd.
I'd say that they're equal. But you understand there's a different vibe in California altogether.
How dare you? How dare you?
What's the vibe?
You know, just take waiting for your coffee at a Starbucks in New York versus waiting for your coffee at a Starbucks in LA. Nobody cares in LA. It's leisure. So I think that they're just as lit, hence the Ginsburg signs, and the two themed fans that got hit in the face with the guardrail.
What's happening?
Scratching his nose.
Larry?
Oh.
Do you have an itch? Are you about to sneeze or?
You guys are the most impatient. These guys are the most impatient people. Oh, you were done. You were
done. I thought you was about to drop some knowledge. You were
yeah, it seemed like you were trailing. You trailed off.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yo, Larry, you need like a spa day, dude. You need a spa day because you literally tell us the story. You stayed in LA and flew back late last night to go to work this morning.
Yeah. I think that the fans are equal. It's just a different vibe from LA and New Jersey. And that's what I'm saying
Brian
about those fans. That's what I'm saying.
He's being honest. He's being an honest man.
Those fans who got hit in the face. Those fans who got hit in the face, they were like dressed to impress. Kind of like the way that Ginsburg and Amanda would be at a New Jersey show. Like they were directly across from the fans with the Ginsburg signs.
Got it. Okay.
So they were like really into XPW.
Then why the fuck would he call the police?
I mean, because they got hit in the face with a guardrail.
Well, that sounds. If you're a fan of deathmatch, I know people that have been struck with tubes that are at a deathmatch show and know what they're fucking watching and know the risks.
Yeah, everyone's
and like,
asking
if you're front row, at a Necro Butcher match, then you're a fucking fool.
No,
if you don't
no,
think...
Brian. No,
that's dude, anything's possible.
No, Brian. No.
Dude, yeah.
But
I think
however,
you're a bitch.
however,
You're a bitch if you call the cops, but for an accident.
Yo,
We
you
didn't
know what?
throw
Listen,
the fucking barricade at him.
You are the worst because I'm gonna give you an analogy. Okay.
You are the worst.
Because like, if you're at a hardcore show, and you're standing there because you love the band, and some fucking meathead who comes to a show to take out all his aggression.
It's called crowd killing.
Wait a second.
God damn it.
Yeah, so if you're hanging out on the rim of a pit trying to watch a band that you love, and some crowd killer, who, by the way, obviously has tiny dick energy, he's trying to take out every injustice that's ever been done on him, on helpless fans. Hey, listen, when you're in your mid-20s, when you're in your early 20s, it's like, well, if you don't want to get hit, stay out of the pit.
Dude, if you don't want to get hit, don't go to a fucking snuffed out sight show.
No, but you know what?
That's just a vibe. That's just a vibe at the show.
Turns out those guys are assholes.
Disagree.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, I'm sorry to have to break it to you, brother.
That's an opinion. That's an opinion.
You want to know why?
God damn it.
Do you want to know why on the side of every McDonald's cup it says contents of this beverage may be extremely hot? It's because my job as the announcer at the beginning of every kind of deathmatch show is to warn people that are
First
right
five
behind the
rows
retaining
might get
barricade
splashed.
that things may get hot and heavy.
Yeah.
And if that does happen, then it's up to you in the front row to get on your feet.
No.
Hold on, Pat. Hold on. Please just hold on. It's up to me to say that you guys need to get up on your feet and move, because we've seen what can happen when things get hot and heavy right here in whatever arena that we're in. Now listen, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I'm not.
As soon as the barricade went flying into that fan's face from commentary, I grabbed the microphone and I said, ladies and gentlemen, if the action spills out towards you and you're in the front row, get out of the way. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if the action spills out of the ring and starts to come towards you in the front row, then get out of the way.
I've heard you say that even at ICW shows.
In the backstage. Well, see, that's the thing. It's up to the promoter. I'm sorry to say this, as professional as I am, to remind me, like Larry, there's a lot of kids in the front row. That's when it happens a lot of times. If there's ever kids, there's a lot of kids. Make sure you make the warning about...
Oh, I'm getting buried. I'm getting buried out here.
Right. If you don't want to get hit, then don't go to a Necro Butcher match where he has a fucking barricade above his head. If you want to
in a court of law,
you run away.
In a court of law.
He was standing there like a goddamn idiot.
And hold on.
And then
in a court of law. In a court of fucking law. Brian, show me one other Necro Butcher match where the exact same thing happens. Show me another Necro Butcher match where he picks up the barricade, throws it at the guy, it ricochets off of the guy, and goes and hits the people in the front row. Show me where people have agreed that when you watch the Necro Butcher wrestle, that things can happen, like a barricade can fly off of their opponent into your face in the front row. Show me that match.
Right, and when you purchase a ticket...
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't, but just because he didn't throw it at the guy. It was an accident. Freak guy. He's thrown chair. I've seen him throw many things. He's thrown things.
But he throws things. That exact thing has happened.
It's an accident. It was an accident. Right. Okay. The fucking barricade was an accident.
All right. So you guys have convinced me. If you're that kind of soft. And by the way, I'm gonna just refer to this picture that Sean took undercover. The guy, he's a fedora guy. He's a fedora guy.
He's Freddy Krueger.
Well, but
I think he's a goddamn cuck. Cuck of the week.
The whole situation fucking sucks because these fans were there to show out. They did not buy front row seats to get a barricade in their fucking face.
Look at how happy.
They went there themed like Halloween Hell. They showed me mad love, like the way you would, Brian, and your lovely fiancée Amanda. They showed me mad love.
That doesn't just because they showed you love. As soon as they call the police, they're goddamn bitches. They're bitches for calling the police because they got fucking.
That's a hell of a way for you to unite the deathmatch community.
Well, you know what? I took a year of my life. I took a year. I took a year of my life.
I think he looks a little bit fucking glib. Sitting there with his goddamn
No, I took a year of my life to unite. I ignited a revolution.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I ignited it.
Stupid.
Butcher back.
Fucking
I
stupid.
ignited it. I ignited the revolution, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick
You're
of the
burning
bullshit.
it down,
He's a
Brian.
fedora.
I'm gonna burn the shit down. I'll burn it. I'm gonna burn it down. Took a year to build it up, and now I'll burn it the
Look
fuck
how
down.
happy
Too.
he is
You're
to
so
headshot
proud.
those police.
God damn it.
Anyway, hey,
making
thanks
me
for watching. Boulevard
tight.
Bullies. Brian, show the giveaway one more time.
There's the goddamn giveaways. Stickers.
All right, all you have to do is comment on this video. That's very, very important. Also, until midnight tonight, these Halloween shirts and every other
Love
one
this
that we've
shirt.
ever made are only $20 on the Blvd Bullies Big Cartel store. Also, I did not write this in the show notes. One of you other beautiful souls did, and I want to appreciate it. They said, here comes the lame plug. So I'm going to give a Here Comes the Lame plug. Thursdays at 8 o'clock, we talk mainstream wrestling.
I'm able to watch it sometimes.
Me and Jedi Joe. Larry, does All Holes Filled have a scheduled time
No.
yet?
We just fill holes when we're hungry.
You fill the holes when the holes are hungry.
When our holes are gaping and looking for food, we call DJ Hyde. Master hole filler.
Bow, bow, bow. DJ's come for you.
Food.
Skiddly bop.
I have two. I have two final thoughts.
Oh, you have two now.
I have two final thoughts. I'm gonna say them quickly. No one better undercut Pondo versus fucking low life Louie.
You better not
One,
undercut.
no undercutting. I'm sorry.
Now you're
These are my
challenging people. They're
Larry,
going to do it now.
Undercutters.
Larry, don't say it. I'm just saying
Well,
that's
I
my
do
final
say
word.
it.
Well, someone already said it. I said someone else should have did it. Then Pat said it, and now I just said it again.
I'm
and my
worried
other
they're
final
going to
word
undercut
is,
us.
If you're going to go to a snuffed on site show and you're going to get worried about getting hit, then you shouldn't go to it.
If
God
you don't
damn
want to
it.
get hit, don't get in the pit. Sean, final thoughts.
Listen, it pertains to what Brian just said. I'll put it to you like this. If you don't want to get wet on the water ride, then don't get on the water ride.
If you
I
have
was stuck with a
small
tube.
hands, date a woman with huge
honestly,
tits.
I feel that I fucked up.
Why?
I see where y'all are coming from because you're fans. You're fans first and foremost. I'm the production.
Right.
I'm the motherfucker that makes sure
come
that
for
we can
Larry.
come
We
back.
come for
So
Larry.
Look, I'm the one that makes sure we can come back to the building. And because I wasn't on my A game to mention that shit, I fucked up.
You like you have a pepper hanging off your head. You zoom in there.
Pepper.
Bitches call cops and the Boulevard Bullies break barricades. God damn it. That's
right,
that's
Brian,
that's my third final word.
You had the best strategy to prevent yourself from getting hit with the barricade standing front row. You broke it.
Right.
Yeah, and then you got your ass pushed all the way to Kingdom Come.
Yeah. And I didn't call anybody.
CUM. Well, you did shout for Tarzan. Whoa.
Then he came.
And then you forsaked him.
All right, is the show over?
Yeah, I think it is. Anybody else have anything to say?
I gotta get some rest. I haven't even slept
Hey,
in days.
And listen, if you are a person who's gonna call the cops when getting hit in the head with the guardrail, well, why don't you just stand in the back? And who's gonna be standing in the back? Me, right there to whisper in your ear, "You're a fucking bitch because you're my enemy, and I hope you die slow." Low road forever. BoulevardBullies.com/go fuck yourself. Out of time. Bye-bye.
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween!
so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.